Write down what you love about yourself right now. All the great things about you right now, write them down. Hey guys, Vicky Lemons here and welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. I am so glad to have you here. So this video is about pretty privilege, but it's a little bit of a different take on pretty privilege. I know you're not used to seeing my hair like this, but I wore it like this especially for you. Here's the thing. I grew up a very pretty girl and I had really long hair down to my butt. And everywhere I went, it didn't matter who I was with, I always heard, she's so pretty, she's so pretty, her hair is so long. Everywhere. I was the niece that my uncles always took with them wherever they went, because I was also a good little girl. So anyway, I was very pretty growing up. And when I was about 10 years old, my mom cut my long ponytail to about you couldn't even put a braid in it. And I remember standing in the mirror in like shock. She said my hair was too much to manage and she decided to cut it. Personally, I've dealt with a lot of jealousy issues with my mom, so I think that had something to do with it. But what I will say is it kind of destroyed my self-image at that age. So as I got older, I developed a defense mechanism with my hair. I didn't like how cutting my hair made me feel. It took something from me. So I began to do all kinds of stuff with my hair. And the community I grew up in would always have concern. Why are you cutting your hair? Your hair is so long. Your hair is so pretty. Why are you cutting it? And I understood that that was because maybe they were envious of the length. However, for me, it wasn't about the length. It was about not allowing something else to make me feel unpretty. My hair was not going to be my pretty. My face and me, I was going to be my pretty. I wasn't going to allow something that could be taken away from me to destroy me again. And which is why my hair is like this. I recently cut it again and I've heard the same type of comments. Why are you cutting your hair? All this stuff. Your hair is so long. It's so pretty. Because I don't allow things to attach to me that way. I don't associate my beauty with my hair or things like that. So now we fast forward. I chipped my tooth. I remember doing videos and I had that chipped tooth and it bothered me because another thing I always was complimented on was my smile. And I hated showing that chipped tooth. But I left it chipped for a reason. I left it chipped for a while. Because moments like that in life humble me. When you grow up and you are a pretty person, look, we can't choose how we're born. Some of us are born pretty. I was born pretty. And I'm thankful that I was born pretty. I'm thankful that I was born the way that I was. However, I don't allow those things to consume me. Me walking around with that chipped tooth was humbling for me, and I left it like that on purpose because every once in a while it's good to check yourself. It's good to humble yourself, and that's what that was for me. That chipped tooth, cutting my hair. I know this pretty privilege thing is usually geared to people who feel they are less attractive. But it's just as hard for someone who is pretty to have things happen to them to make them unpretty And now they have to go through life kind of destroyed. That thing that made them beautiful is taken away. And I know that may sound a certain way to some people, but at the end of the day, until you've been in that position, you don't know how hard it is. It destroyed me at 10 years old to take away that thing that was mine. That was like my superhero cape, my ponytail that would swing. It was my beauty, part of my beauty. My smile, my chipped tooth was part of my beauty. But now I was old enough to embrace that, hey, at any moment this can be taken away. Even though it was hard for me to swallow at first. It was a hard pill to swallow, and I did eventually get it fixed. But this is why I do the things I do with my hair and with weight gain. Right now, I don't feel as pretty as I would if I was at my fighting weight, right? But someone else may look at that and think that's not a concern because beauty or because whatever. For me, pretty people struggle too. The bar is set higher for pretty people to stay a certain way, to look a certain way, to maintain a certain image. And when that image gets destroyed, it's devastating. I'm a fitness instructor, and I haven't taught since before COVID, but I've been one for over 10 years. And in between our military moves, I would always have to restart, find another job, move to another place, things like that. Well, with our last move, I put on a lot of weight, and that caused social anxiety for me because I couldn't allow people to see me at this weight because I'm a fitness instructor, number one. Number two, people are used to seeing me so pretty and so fit and so this and so that, which caused depression, which caused me to drink, which caused me to stay in the house more, which caused me to drink more, which caused me to gain more weight. It was just a vicious cycle. I understand that pretty privilege is a thing, but I also understand that pretty people don't always have it easy, and pretty people honestly have a higher level of standard to maintain because if they fall down just a little bit, there's so many people waiting to attack them. Oh, look at her now, she's getting big. Oh, look at her hair now, she's not so pretty. Oh, look at, just waiting like sharks. So we have to stay up and tall and perfect. Because if we don't, and we fall and we gain weight and we chip a tooth and we wear our hair however crazy or whatever. Although I'm kind of digging the fro. I don't know. What we aren't seeing the same, which if you go through life always hearing you're smart and then all of a sudden no one tells you you're smart, well, then you don't feel smart. If you go through life hearing that you're beautiful and then all of a sudden no one's telling you you're beautiful, it affects you. Whether you want to say it does or not, it does. So I understand there is a such thing as pretty privilege. I do. But I also understand that being pretty has its downside at times too. Has its own stressors. It has its own problems. Just because someone is deemed pretty doesn't mean that they don't have stress and issues regarding keeping themselves that way. Now, they're two different struggles. I understand that. But what's one for some person, that's still their struggle. And it's valid. It's their struggle, it's valid, and vice versa. So, this message was just to bring light to the fact that yeah, there is a such thing as pretty privilege, but there's also a such thing as when pretty people have to keep themselves a certain level. If not, as soon as they fall off, their whole everything that was created in them, what's left? And that's why I use those moments of my hair, cutting my hair, or my chipped tooth, leaving it there for a year, because it humbles me. The weight gain, even though I'm working on that right now because I'm trying to get my fly back. But anyway, those moments humble me, because that 10-year-old girl that stood in that mirror for hours, devastated over her beauty being taken away, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. But it's not a real thing for me anymore, because I use those moments to humble me. As always, I hope this message has helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I thank you for being here. God bless.